Tonight on the World News, towards improving healthcare system, Rivers State government moves to strengthen health workforce. President Tinubu visits Jos on condolence visit over Sunday's killings. Kogi State receives significant drop in malaria percent in 2025. Plus, federal government set to implement cooperation agreements, memoranda of understanding with Turkey. This is Rivers State Television. Welcome to the World News. My name is Abubele Barapaka. Don't forget, Rivers State is the treasure base of the nation. Let's build and take it to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. Don't forget, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at RSTVPH. You will always see us live if you click the notification bell as you receive our feed. My name is Abubele Barapaka, and I welcome you to the news. Rivers State Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odo, has emphasized the urgent need to strengthen the health workforce as a critical step towards improving the state's healthcare system. Professor Odo made this known during the high-level health labor market analysis, also called HLMA advocacy meeting at the Government House in Port Harcourt. Melvin Jackson completes the story.
According to the Deputy Governor, effective planning must be driven by accurate and timely data, noting that the health labor market analysis provides deep insights into employment trends, skill gaps, workforce demands, and emerging economic opportunities. She explained that the health labor market analysis advocacy supports inclusive growth by identifying vulnerable groups and ensuring that no one is left behind in the labor market, adding that it helps in designing targeted interventions and empowering youths, women, and marginalized communities with relevant skills for today's economy. Professor Odo disclosed that the administration of Governor Siminalayi Fubara remains committed to using data-driven processes to make informed decisions that will reshape and re-engineer the health sector.
Permit me to especially appreciate the Federal Ministry of Health. We do express our profound gratitude to you for choosing Rivers State after your rigorous elimination series. You chose our state for TA for the Helmer project. I think it is highly commendable, and we should thank for Federal Ministry. We are even more elated, as stated by the lead of the team, federal team, to know that Rivers State will be used as a benchmark and reference point to other states.
Also speaking, the Permanent Secretary, Rivers State Ministry of Health, Professor Justina Jumbo, said the event is significant as it outlines critical steps for governing, planning, and managing the state health workforce. She revealed that over 50% of the state health workforce is concentrated at the primary health care level, with 30% in tertiary institutions, while the private sector accounts for a smaller proportion. In his address, the representative of the Federal Ministry of Health, John Okobia, said Rivers State emerged as the only state selected for the technical assistance after a rigorous process involving all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. In their separate goodwill messages, the representative of the Clinton Health Access Initiative, Adekemi Bolade, and Dr. Alfred
products. He said this knowledge empowers consumers and reinforces their rights in the marketplace.
Our central work is to protect that consumer for which the product is produced. What we are here is that you give out a lot of information. You are like a vehicle through which messages get to the people. But we are doing a lot, and government have set us up. It's a free service to the people, but the people don't know that they have this free service. So how can we put it out there? That's why I'm here today, sir.
In his response, Acting General Manager of Rstv Television, Ambassador Paul Dambo, highlighted the station's recent achievements in programming and rebranding and reaffirmed Rstev's openness to partnership that supports public enlightenment and economic growth. He stressed that service providers must recognize that consumers have choices and should adopt the right approach in delivering products and services that will attract greater patronage, because quality service remains essential in capturing and retaining consumer attention. Ambassador Dambo commended the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission for its efforts in safeguarding public health and consumer rights, and pledged the station's support in disseminating the message to every nook and cranny of the state.
I want to assure you that their campaign and their advocacy is going to be given wider publicity. A few days ago, they handed over our national license that guarantees us to be on to transmit nationally, so beyond the state. So Rstv is set to discharge its responsibility in a professional manner that will meet up the standard in modern broadcasting. So I want to thank all of you for coming, and I want to assure you that we are open to business. We're ready to partner with you in terms of production of jingle. If you have jingle that has to do with the public enlightenment and the safety and rights, like some of the things that the leader said, you just bring it, because people need to know. And I'm sure by the time people keep seeing it, and they are even the consumers will now be emboldened to demand for their rights.
The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is an agency of the federal government mandated to protect and promote the interests of Nigerian consumers. Emmanuel Emenyon, Rstv News.
Matters. Omega Power Ministries worldwide celebrated children born with autism and Down syndrome as part of activities marking this year's World Autism and Down Syndrome Day. The event, which took place at the OPM Church GRA in Port Harcourt, witnessed the newly wedded autistic Aboy Chibuzo and his wife as special guests. Ogboka Umeda has the report.
World Autism and Down Syndrome Day, celebrated on April 2 every year, focuses on inclusion and support for individuals with the syndrome. Speaking at the event, General Overseer of Omega Power Ministries, OPM Worldwide, King Apostle Chibuzo Chinyere, described this year's theme, Together Against Loneliness, as apt, stressing that the marriage the church organized for one of the persons with special needs, Mr. Aboy Chibuzo, and his beautiful wife was in line with the theme and biblical principles of marriage. Apostle Chinyere said, though the marriage was greeted with reactions, he developed a thick skin and informed that if another opportunity presents itself, he will organize another one, as the essence is to make these persons with special needs to be valued and live like normal people, irrespective of the challenges, as giving life a meaning is his watchword. The man of God, who kicked against stigmatization of persons born with autism and Down syndrome, called for concerted efforts by government and spirited individuals to make life more meaningful for these persons. He said this is the 6th year of OPM running a free school for children born with autism and Down syndrome, a capital-intensive project. Apostle Chibuzo Chinyere informed that a branch will soon be established in Lagos, in addition to the 42 free schools the church maintains, devoid of tribe, religion, and race.
In order to stop this discrimination, we decided to put the OPM free school in one side and also the autism school in the same compound, so that during break all the children will mix together and play. From there they will no longer discriminate against them. They are getting healing. We got somebody from Uniport, it's a therapy that normally massage their legs. So some of them that couldn't move before are moving. Some of them that couldn't speak are speaking. Some of them that couldn't hold things like this, they have like this, and now doing like this.
Presentations such as spelling bee, games, and beauty pageant showed that the church carefully employed professionals to groom the children and nurture them to stardom. Dr. Maureen Chukwu is the OPM Director of Welfare, while Mr. Ido Francis is the school principal, and they advised that the society should continue to build a school where children are empowered to shine. They said autistic children should be valued and empowered. They also used the opportunity to thank the General Overseer of OPM, King Apostle Chibuzo Gift Chinyere, for spending a fortune just for children with special needs.
Together, we can make a difference. OPM School of Children with Autism and Down Syndrome. This school is already 6 years. 6 years, but not just 6 years in number. The 6 years that have made an impact.
The autism team says that life has value. The value we have for your life is what makes us provide school for them. OPM Trade Center for learning and handwork. Our trade center takes care of this.
The OPM General Overseer later gifted the children with iPad and talking books, also known as phonetics, an educational material donated by his business partner from China. Some of the elated children in an interview reacted this way.
I feel happy, I love, care, and support because of our daddy.
Amen.
Ogboka Umeda, Rstv News.
Now to national matters. President Bola Tinubu Thursday received the President of the Republic of Chad, Marshal Mahamat Idris Deby Itno, at the State House, Abuja. The visit marks Deby's first official trip to Nigeria since Tinubu attended his inauguration in N'Djamena, Chad's capital, on 23 May 2024. Deby, 42, assumed leadership of Chad following the death of his father, President Idris Deby Itno, who was killed by rebels on 20 April 2021. While commanding troops on the front line during the northern Chad offensive. Thursday's meeting comes barely a week after Tinubu received Prime Minister Terence Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis on 26 March 2026, making Deby the second head of state hosted by the Nigerian leader within 1 week. Details of the discussions between the two leaders were not immediately available, but would be brought to you in our subsequent bulletins. In another development, President Bola Tinubu has arrived just the Plateau State capital on a condolence visit following last Sunday's attacks in Angwarukuba district that left at least 27 people dead. Tinubu had on Monday strongly condemned the attacks in Jos and a separate incident in Kahir village, Kagako local government area of Kaduna State, where wedding guests were killed and abducted. The president said anyone who will sneak under the cover of the night to kill defenseless citizens, as done in Jos and Kahir village, is a heartless coward, describing the killings as barbaric. While condemning the attacks, the president commended Mutwang for his efforts in containing the situation in Jos and directed security agencies to intensify efforts to pursue the perpetrators. He also cautioned sections of the media against suggesting that the attacks were religiously motivated, warning that such narratives could escalate violence. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, on Thursday visited Plateau State following the deadly attack in Ngwarukuba in Jos North local government. During the visit to the government house in Jos, the IGP, who was received by Governor Caleb Mutwang, condemned the Sunday attack and vowed that those responsible would be brought to justice. It disclosed that the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Umar Nadada, had earlier been deployed to the state to assess the situation and coordinate security operations with other agencies. The police boss also commiserated with the state government and families of victims affected by the attack. Responding, Mutwang said he is optimistic that Plateau will overcome its long-standing security challenges. The governor noted that insecurity in the state predates his administration, recalling that previous governors, including Joshua Darie, Jonah Jang, and Simon Lalong, also grappled with the crisis. You're watching the news from Rstv Television. Don't forget, River State is the treasure base of the nation. Let's build and take it to greater heights because it is a task we must accomplish. Rstv News can be watched live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at RSTVPH. Click the bell so you get us live from the studios. Coming up, Trump removes Pam Bondi as U.S. Attorney General. And in sports, Super Eagles to face Poland, Portugal in friendlies. We'll bring you details of these and other reports when we return after this break. Don't go away.
Rstv, your source for authentic coverage. US on
YouTube RSTVPH, Facebook RSTVPH, TikTok RSTVPH,
and GoTV at channel 142.
Ready, set, 2026.
When God turns all impossibilities in your life around. It is 5 days of God transforming lives, rewriting destinies, empowering men. It is not just a program. It is an atmosphere where God proves that all things are truly possible. A program where God turns impossibilities into testimonies. With God, all things are possible 2026. We don't just ask, we align. We don't just pray, we believe and then expect God's unfailing wonders. Date, Monday 6th to Friday the 10th of April 2026. Time, 5 p.m. daily, youths and teenagers healing, deliverance and impartation program. Wednesday the 8th of April by 9 a.m. Ministers Conference on Thursday the 9th of April by 9 a.m. Taking place at number 5 Canaan Land Avenue, behind the Magistrate Court, Wiki Bus Stop Port Harcourt. Come and meet the God of possibilities.
The Rivers State Government, under the administration of His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara JSSRS, Governor of Rivers State, hereby invites applications from suitably qualified individuals with passion for classroom teaching for recruitment as teachers into public primary and secondary schools in the state. Applicants must possess a minimum of Nigerian Certificate in Education (NCE) for primary school teachers and bachelor's degree in education or postgraduate diploma in education with a first degree in any teaching subject for secondary school teachers. For further information, please check The Guardian, The Nation, National Network, The Tide, Independent Monitor, People's Herald, the GIST newspapers of Thursday, 2nd April 2026, and the Ministry of Information website at www.moic.rov.gov.ng. This is signed by Professor Mrs. Ngozi Odu, DSSROS, Deputy Governor, Rivers State, and Chairman, Teachers Recruitment Committee.
Omega Power Ministries, OPM Worldwide, presents 7 Sundays Deliverance titled
Summon them to the court of heaven. Are they fighting you for what God has given to you? Summon them to the court of heaven. Is there a wicked gang up against you? Summon them to the court of heaven. Are they attacking your children? Summon them to the court of heaven. Are they fighting against your miracle pregnancy? Summon them to the court of heaven. Are they spiritually blocking your marital breakthrough? Summon them to the court of heaven. Is there any sickness in your body that have refused to go? Summon that sickness to the court of heaven. When all that court fails, the court of heaven stands. Date:
Sunday 29th March, Sunday 5th April, Sunday 12th April, Sunday 19th April, and Sunday 26th April 2026.
Time 9 a.m. Venue: Dr. Jesus City.
4 p.m. Dr. Jesus in action. Dr. Jesus in action. God is here.
This is RSTV World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. RSTV, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Thank you for joining us again for more news. Latest National Malaria Indicator Survey reveals that Kogi State has recorded a significant improvement in its health sector, with malaria prevalence dropping from 16% in 2021 to 8.9% in 2025. This was contained in a statement issued on Thursday by the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Abdulaziz Adams, who said the state had moved from the moderate A transmission category, previously ranging between 15 and 35%, to the low A category, marking a major improvement in public health outcomes. He attributed the achievement to the commitment and support of the state government, as well as the dedication of health workers and stakeholders across Kogi State, noting that the progress reflects the government's continued investment in healthcare delivery and its focus on improving the well-being of citizens. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, has reiterated Nigeria's commitment to operationalizing its cooperation agreements and memoranda of understanding with the Republic of Turkey. She made this known when the Turkish ambassador to Nigeria, Mehmet Porois, paid her a courtesy visit at her office in Abuja. In a statement issued on Thursday and signed by the Special Assistant on Communication and New Media to the Minister, Magnus Eze, it was recalled that at the invitation of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President Bola Tinubu undertook an official visit to Ankara on 27 January 2026 to strengthen bilateral relations. The statement noted that the Nigerian delegation, which included no fewer than 6 ministers and the National Security Advisor, witnessed the signing of several key bilateral agreements between both countries. Now, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has announced that it had reached an agreement with the Rwandan government to implement a new $250 million program over 38 months to support economic reforms. The extended credit facility program must still be approved by the IMF's board, which is expected to discuss the matter in June. In a statement, IMF Mission Chief for Rwanda, Tona Mama, said the ECF arrangement aims to sustain reform momentum, support sound macroeconomic adjustment, and rebuild policy buffers while effectively managing the impacts of the war in the Middle East. He said the agreement will work on 3 main areas: macroeconomic policy, managing fiscal and debt risks to growth, and promoting the country's private sector. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced the removal of Pam Bondi as Attorney General, the nation's chief law enforcement agency or enforcement officer. Trump Thursday said on his social media platform, Truth Social, that she will be transitioning to a much-needed and important new job in the private sector to be announced at a date in the near future. He said Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche will serve as acting Attorney General. According to media reports, Trump was said to be frustrated that Bundy had not done enough to prosecute individuals he viewed as opponents. Now, sports news. The Super Eagles will face Poland and Portugal in international friendlies in June as part of preparations for upcoming global competitions, the Nigeria Football Federation has said. A statement by the NFF Director of Communications, Ademola Olajire, on Thursday in Abuja confirmed the high-profile fixtures and described them as crucial tests for the team. FIFA match agent for the NFF, Jairo Pashon of Eurodata Sport, said the match against Poland would be played at the PGE Narodowy Stadium in Warsaw on 3 June, while the game against Portugal would take place on 10 June at the venue to be announced later. Olajire said the matches would help the technical crew assess the squad against top European opposition, adding that the games would also provide an opportunity to test new players and tactical approaches. And that brings us to the end. Don't forget, before you do anything, that River State is the treasure base of the nation. We must build and take it to greater heights because it is a task we must accomplish. It is Rstv News, and we are live on YouTube, Facebook, on TikTok and Instagram at RSTVPH. Do us a favor, click that notification bell so you receive us live from the studios. And now a reminder of some of our major reports for tonight. River State Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odo, has emphasized the need to strengthen the health workforce as a crucial step towards improving the state's healthcare system. President Bola Tinubu arrived Jos, the Plateau State capital, today on a condolence visit following last Sunday's attacks in the Angwarukuba district that left at least 27 people dead. Latest National Malaria Indicator Survey has revealed that Kogi State has recorded a significant improvement in its health sector, with malaria prevalence dropping from 16% in 2021 to 8.9% in 2025. We had also reported that the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, has reiterated Nigeria's commitment to operationalizing its cooperation agreements and memoranda of understanding with the Republic of Turkey. Thanks for being a part of it from start to finish. Bye-bye.